Vaheguru Ji Ka
जी
Khalsa,
का खालसा
Vaheguru Ji Ki
वाहिगुरु जी
Fateh.
की फतेह.
Alright guys, so welcome back. Episode 4 of the Aatam Gyan series of Bhai Daya Singh. Again, continuing our conversation, going through the Panjvi Rutt of Sri Suraj Prakash with Bhai Jaswinder Singh Ji. And we're just going to get it off and kick off straight away with the questions that we've had come in. Had a number of questions, but we're going to stick to these at the moment because these are the ones that were worded best for us to go through. And one was asked by a friend, and he said, in life, we have many interactions with many people. Why are some more meaningful or deeper and longer lasting than others? And how can a random interaction, for example, when traveling somewhere and you meet someone randomly, how can that be deeper? Like, I know this person, even though they speak in different language, how can that be deeper than many of the interactions or relations we have in our own family? Is this karam? Is this chance? Were our lives intertwined in Pishle Janam, or is it we were meant to meet here? Like, what is that situation from your insights?
Very good question, actually. Yeah, nothing is by chance. Everything is directed by karam, the karams that you've done in your previous lives. Remember, there was that Saki. I don't know if we discussed it in one of our episodes here or in our podcast before, but I'll tell you the little Saki. I'll try to be as quick as I can. There was this new princess that got married to a prince, and then on the night that she fell asleep, or their first night together, she couldn't fall asleep because she was away from home. Um, the prince was sleeping, and right over her on his, I guess, night table, there was this little kanjar, and it was very beautiful. Had a lot of gems in it, diamonds and stuff. So she picked it up and she started looking at it. She accidentally, it fell from her hands and it landed in the prince's throat, and he died right away. He couldn't even scream because you know it was right on his neck. And I mean, she
Accidentally.
well, yeah, it was accidentally.
No, no, go with it.
So yeah, so no, and then she didn't really know the prince. She never met him, so she never really had any attachment to him.
Yeah.
Wasn't really sad or anything,
Hmm.
but she's wondering, oh my God, what the heck do I do? Right? People are gonna come in here and see me in the morning, and I'm gonna get in trouble. So she looks over the window. She's a jogi who's doing tapasya under a tree. So in the morning, everybody comes in. They're all crying. It's like, what happened? It's like, oh, there's a jogi over there. He's a pakhandi. He jumped over the wall and he killed the prince. So then the Raja, they arrested the Jogi, the rest of the Sant, and then because he was a Brahmin, they didn't kill him because it was believed to be bad to kill Brahmins and scholars. So they cut his hands off. They cut his hand, maybe one or two, I can't remember which one, but something like that. So then he was just wondering, I was just doing tapasya. What the heck did I do? Why did I deserve this? So there's a person in Banaras who understood these things. Like he was an expert in Karma Shastra, and he was able to decode dreams and meanings and happen life. And he was what you'd call a psychic as well. So if he first goes to his home, he wasn't home. His wife was home, and then he asked for the person, and the wife was very rude. Right? She's like, "Oh, he's not. I don't know where he is. He's going to be home soon." So, anyways, the guy, the Santa, he kind of just sits outside the home waiting for him. So when the guy comes, right, the psychic, and then he takes him inside, and then he's like, why is your wife so rude? And he goes, I'll tell you my story, but he goes, first tell me what happened to you. Why are you here? And then so he goes uh he tells him what happened. Then he looks at it and he goes, okay. He goes, so what happened was in your last life you were also a jogi doing tapasya, same thing under a tree. There was a cow that was being chased by a butcher that came to you, and it hid behind the tree. And then when the butcher came and said, did you see the cow? You were doing mantra jap, so you didn't say anything. But you took your hand, you pointed. You pointed where she was. And then the butcher saw the cow and, killed her. So he goes, the reason why your hands got cut off is because you did the signal with your hand. And he goes, that butcher reincarnated into a prince, and the cow reincarnated into a princess, and then she got her revenge by killing him, and you lost your hand. And then he goes, the reason why I got married to my wife is because he goes, I used to be a crow, and my wife used to be a cow, and she had a wound on her, I guess, rump. And then he goes, I used to peck at it, right? I used to eat the flesh. And he goes, one day I bit too hard, and my beak went into the bone, and the cow got startled, and she jumped into the Ganga, and both of us drowned. And because we drowned in the Ganga, where a lot of Santa Mahatmas used to come. We were born as humans, right? Um, whether you want to take that as a mythological story or take it for fact that it is, it does tell us that everything is actually connected. It comes in Sant Jwala Dasi Sarkatavali as well. So every little thing in your life has some sort of karma towards it. Nothing is by chance.
So even say when we go to a smagam and there's so many different members of the Sangat sitting in that smagam, all of their karma have interlined to have langar together here, to sit and do bhakti together here.
Exactly. From your previous births.
And if it's someone's karma to be injured, cut, hurt, that's the same, that this is karma, this is meant to happen, this is the way you go.
Same thing. I mean, when we take it to the next level, I mean, if you're gonna close your eyes and walk towards, walk on the sidewalk, and you're gonna trip, and you're gonna say, "Oh, that was my karam." Yeah, you close your eyes. That was a karam, right? And you got, you got the fall right away. And I think it kind of ties into your next question. You want to ask that one?
Yeah. So the next question is: the rewards we receive in this life, are they a result of this life or the past life? And it goes on to say, we're doing them now. We're doing things now to receive rewards. We're doing something to get something. Will we get them now, or will they become pralabad and we'll get them at another point in time?
So according to hardcore Vedantis, they say that everything you're doing now is from your last birth, because your sharir is made up of the karma of your last birth. And remember, it's like a kind of like a butterfly effect. Like everything is connected, including the placement of the planets, right? And that's why Jyotish is kind of explaining that everything is connected. So according to Vedanta, it's from your last birth, and then the karma you're doing now is for your next birth. But when we come to Gurmat, it's a little bit of a different scenario. In Gurmat, the Guru is able to burn all your karmas. The Guru is able to give you mukti right away if the Guru is compassionate. And I was actually speaking to Gyani Harsimran Singh Ji this morning as well, and he was explaining Deen and Dayalta, right? Is that Dayalta is based on how Deen you are, humility. And then when you go humble, the Guru just becomes very compassionate with you, right? It's like the sun, right? The sun's very giving. All you have to do is just go stand outside, right, with humility. If you're gonna be egotistical and hide in a room, right, obviously you're not gonna get any compassion, right? So yeah, so according to Gurmati, there are some karams that you can poke in this life, and because that's what Amrita does, right? It cuts it tames your karmic chakra, right? And this is the reason why it's very important to take Amrit. And then whatever is left can be poked in this. Like we talk about the whole, you close your eyes, you're gonna trip. But that was immediate response.
Yeah.
Hardcore Vedantis would say something else, but then they're all different ideologies.
Fair play. Because often people reflect on, like, now we're doing bhakti or we're doing simran. Is this our free will that we're doing it, or is this our good karam?
Like we just had, we talked about this before, I think once, is there'll be a particular karam that will take you to a certain place. Now the choice will be yours if you're going to go inside or not. Like, it'll take you to a teka where sharab, alcohol is being served. Choice is yours for you to go inside or to turn your back towards it. Same thing with going to the Gurdwara. Your karam brought you to the Gurdwara. Now it's your choice whether you're going to stay in the Langar hall and gossip, or if you're going to go upstairs or to the Divan hall and listen to the Guru's Gurbani, right?
Yeah.
That's a new karam that's formed.
Yeah. All right. So moving forward, we're moving on to the next chapter, which is a chapter on yoga, vichar, and yoga. So let's go. Let's kick it off.
Yeah. So just to kind of, Bhai Daya Singh Ji, please assist us again. We ask for your blessing that what you have taught the Sikhs at that time, where you said that we be able to say it in English and get it to the masses. Now this was actually particularly quite deep, this particular chapter. I actually spent the last 2 days updating this stuff on my website just because I was like, okay, I didn't realize that we were going to make a podcast on this one day, right? I was just kind of writing and translating for, reference purposes. But no, so if you go on my website, everything that's in the parentheses, the brackets, is either from Gyaniji's Katha that he expanded on, or something that I've translated using the actual Yog Shastra.
Okay, so you've added a new translation in the actual writing, or is it in another place?
No, it's in the writing. I did it when I was relevant. So I
Is
was
the
like,
old one still there?
no.
Okay, so the old one.
I mean, the original is still there,
Yeah.
but then I put more like stuff in parentheses just to explain things further.
Oh, okay. I've not seen that yet. So
I'll explain it to you too. I'll explain it. So what Bhai Daya Singh Ji was doing was he was giving the Sikhs a more holistic view of the different ideologies that were there. One, because if you notice, Gurmat doesn't really go concrete on one particular ideology. Like that question we had, right? Agle ke khabar na pai, right? Now, it depends on who Guru Sahib was talking to at that point. Some people just get
Some of the
stuck in.
contents, just break that question down. Like some people missed it.
Oh right. Well, what was the question again? It was
How can we talk about the next Janam or after we die when Maharaj has that Shabad? We agle ke
Right.
karam na pai.
Right, because the thing is, we living in a Gyan, we don't know what's going on ahead, right? Sometimes we kind of claim things. You know how like, oh, abba baithe hain, koi gal nahi, je karma ch hoega te holega. But no,
Yeah.
you have to do uddam, right? It's not, you're not going to get that medical degree just by sitting at home. You're going to have to put your force into it, right? Effort, right? So, and even when you look at it, like I remember talking about this. I remember we talked about Sant Sundar Singh Ji and how this Sant wanted to debate. He was a Dvaiti, and Sant Sundar Singh Ji Pindramwali used to do a lot of prachar of Advait, obviously because most of Gurbani is Advait. But in essential, theoretically speaking and fundamentally speaking, Gurmat says it's Advait. There's only one. There's no two.
Yeah.
But we don't see that. We see duality. Right? And what Sundar Singh Ji said to the Pandit was, look, even a person who the worker was going and he wanted him to sit beside him, he refused because he thought it was Byadbi. He goes, Pandit Ji, look, even he understands what Dvat is. He goes, the real warrior is the one that can prove a Dvat. Right? Because that's impossible to prove. But we see Dvat. So therefore, that's why all the shabads of Bhakti, even the shabads of Sargun Bhakti, of Krishna or Ramchandra, they come in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Pahal Puriya Pandrakavana,
Yeah.
right? There's specific shabads that when they're describing Kalpuruk Swarup, it's basically Krishna or Vishnu Swarup, right? Chaturpud Swarup, right? Peet Basan, Kundasan, right? And then Kahata Madhi So, Jise Dahi Pa, Khaiji, right? So all those things are talking about the Sargun Swarup of Ishwar. So in a sense, Guru Sahib said, we're good with all the ideology just as long as you understand the core principles of it. And this is what Bhai Daya Singh Ji in this particular chapter is talking about yoga, and he's going to show you how Advait or Vedant or inner peace is achieved, what the ideology says about it, right? So we'll go right into it. And then obviously in the next few chapters is going to be Vedant, hardcore Vedant. He's going to talk about the Vedant of Vyasaji, right? And then after that, it's just all Gurmat Siddhant, Brahm Gyan. The next 5 chapters are very beautiful. Like, I mean, these are beautiful as well. They're all beautiful, but it's just amazing how he just kind of puts everything together, and then he says, okay, this is Gurmat, this is Gurmat, this is Gurmat, right? So we're going to talk about Jog today. What is Jog, right? People might think it's, yoga, Hatha yoga, right? Vikram yoga. They have all these commercialized version of it. But the actual point of yoga was to get mukti, right? And Jog has 8 limbs, angs, okay? Name, yam, name, asan, pranayam, pratahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. And we're going to go in detail with these. So, like I said, in Ashta, it's called Ashtanga Yoga, which means 8 Ashta ang limbs, right? So 8 limbs of yoga. This was written by a great
Why
rishi.
is it always eight? Why is like eight special?
So if you notice the Ashtapuja,
Yeah, the
um,
Ashtapuja, that this, that
the Shakti has eight, and the way Gyaniji described it was, it's the power in four directions
हाँ जी,
and the four corners.
ठीक है जी.
Right? It's basically it covers everything.
Hmm.
It's the one that whose power is in four, in all eight directions.
Direction, ठीक है.
Right? Um, so our Ashtang, it was written by Patanjali Rishi, right? And he outlined the 8-step path toward internal peace, self-realization,
And who
and
was this Rishi?
Patanjali. He was one of he's the writer of the Yoga Shastras,
ठीक है.
right? You've
Which
probably
is
heard
which is
of
the essence of your where all yoga comes from, basically, huh?
exactly. You probably heard Baba Ramdev, right,
Yeah.
with his pranayam, right, and he talks about Patanjali, right. That's why he's the one that wrote all this. So and Geniji goes, it's not like a linear staircase where you finish one step and move to the next. All 8 things are traditionally like interconnected limbs in a single organism.
Yeah.
So together you deepen your practice, right? So, and the first 5 are what we call beherang because they're external.
Mm.
And then the next 3 are antarang.
Yeah.
They're the internal, beherang and antarang. So, what's the first ang? Yam. Now, in Nana Prakash Granth, the same topic comes up when Guru Nanak Dev Ji is explaining Yog and Bhakti Yog to, he's explaining the strict Yog and he's explaining the Bhakti Yog to Raja Shivnab. In this one, he talks, in that one, Guru Nanak Dev Ji or Nana Prakash Granth talks about 10 of them. But in this one, Bhai Daya Singh Ji talks about 15. And it seems as though you can break it down even more. But essentially what Yam is, it's the ethical guidelines and restraints for how you interact with the world around you.
Your moral
They focus
compass,
on
basically.
exactly.
हाँ जी.
So they focus on harmony in relationships and society. So the 15 types, what are they? We'll talk about them. La, the mind going off. Vikshep, the wandering. Parmad, careless. And Nindra, sleep. These are what we call the niralsta. They're without laziness. The mind should be away from these 4. Okay? The next one is Santok. And Bhai Daya Singh Ji says, Jatha Labh Santusht, to be happy with what you have. Okay, that's one part of the yam. Moan, to stay silent, don't lie, not to speak myth. Don't, you know how we have a habit of like over telling our story to people. Yeah, aatma de idna cha kar de rahe, aa kar de rahe. So that's no good. You're just feeding your ego. Renounce the pleasure of the indriyas, which is the sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. Control the indriyas, stop them. This is what is called indriya nigrah. Okay? The next one is daya, have compassion, don't hate anybody. Arjav, don't cheat anyone. Dakan, being wise in all tasks. Like use your akal when you're doing things. Don't, Syana Pavarto. I remember one Baba Inderjit Singh Ji. I think somebody came with he was complaining about his wife and he's saying, Sadi Singhni ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਸਿੰਘਣੀ ਓਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ. And I remember Baba Inderjit Singh, and I was surprised to actually hear. He goes, ਪਤਾ, he goes, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੁੱਧੀਮਾਨ ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਨਾ ਐਵੇਂ ਟੋਕਦੇ ਟਾਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ. Because ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਾਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਨਾਨੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨਾ, because they look after the family in their own way, and sometimes they do things that are unorthodox, but just let them do what they're doing because there's going to be a deeper meaning to it. And the one thing he said, this was actually very brilliant. He goes, never talk anybody when it comes to weddings or funerals. He goes, just let everybody do what they're doing. I know we come with our Maryada police,
Yeah.
and we start saying, "Ani karna, oni karna, ani karna, oni karna." Thing is, wedding is it's a happy time. Everybody has their own happiness. They all kind of want to do their own thing, right? Just if it's not too crazy, like case nahi kata rahe hain, daru nahi pee rahe, little things like chalo theek hai, aa shagn karta, oh shagn karta, aap badam ithe pa le, aap badam uthe pa le.
Yeah.
Don't don't try to be the police and never talk because siyana banda tokda nahi hai. They don't go around freaking policing anybody,
Because I
right?
always say, like, to say about that is go, don't talk the children, talk to the children.
Right, exactly. Right? And at funeral time, everybody grieves in their own way,
Yeah.
right? Oh no, toko na. Theek hai, jo koi, somebody's overly kind of getting out of hand, you kind of console them, tell them, tell them the truth of life or stuff, but don't like talk anybody,
Yeah.
right? So, and that was one thing. So, Siane people don't go around, talking at anybody, right? Um, so then so be wise in all tasks. Agrah, renounce stubbornness. Don't be stubborn, right? Sometimes you're going to have to go with the flow. It's not going to be easy, but let go of your stubbornness because that's your ego as well. Don't earn hypocrisy. Maybe you say something and then you don't do it. Don't do that. Right.
If
Only
we're
have the wish to be
we
blessed.
can never get where we want.
Exactly.
The
only wish you should have is to be blessed. Whatever you receive in your destiny, be happy with it and use it.
That's a big one. And that links in with one of those that you mentioned before with Santok.
Exactly.
Santok, the Bina Santok Raja, without being happy with what we receive, they will never be at peace.
Yep. And then he goes, don't be jealous seeing the possessions of others, right? Dekh parai chokpadi na tarsayi ji. Dekh parai chopadi na tarsayi ji.
That's huge.
Yeah, because everybody's just eating out of their own karam, right? If somebody gets a karam of having chopadi roti, that's their karam. If you get a suki roti, right, that's your.
And just under the tat pray hoye, this ta kade na hoye pala. Like if you've got that jealousy inside you, kisi da pala nahi ho sakta, neither to you nor to anyone. Is that and you know what, in the dunya today with social media, with everything, this is a huge one. Like it sounds easy, don't be jealous. But we could do a podcast on jealousy itself, but it's crazy.
Oh, so a person very close, I guess, he's like our, I look at him as like a son. He's getting married, and he brought over the card and mithai, right? And then it just kind of clicked to me, and I was kind of thinking about it very deeply. When let's just face it, we're all jealous. Right?
Yeah.
When
it's true. We do.
It is. We're all jealous. We hear somebody else's good things happening to them, and then all of a sudden, oh, why isn't it happening to me? Kind of. There's an ounce of jealousy in everybody when you hear. But then, all of a sudden, somebody gives you good news. I'm not saying I was jealous of the person that came. I'm just kind of giving my 2 thoughts on it. You give them mithai, and all of a sudden, muh mitha ho gaya. Right? So. This is the reason why we bring mithai to somebody's house with a card. Alo ji mithai khao, muh mitha karo, right? Make your mouth sweet, right? The jealousy and the it fades away. Now, instead of kind of hating hearing good news of other people, you're looking forward to listening to good news of other people because your mood's going to get mitha, right?
That in a bitterness, fruit is so sweet on the tongue. It goes.
Sweet. Yeah.
And one thing I always find is when you actually acknowledge your jealousy, like often people say to me, I'm going to Punjab, I'm going to Hajur Sahib. I'm like, yo, man, I'm so jealous. And when you keep something inside, that's when it gal janda sara kam kharab ho janda.
Bilkul. Yeah. So and then the next one is astik. Astikta means the grunts which explain the Brahm, have faith in them, right? छे कर छे गुरु छे उपदेश गुरु गुरु को वेसन एक हाँ जी ते फिर गां आंदा आ सो कर राख वडाई तो इस ग्रहां नु इस आइडियोलॉजी इन्हां ग्रंथां नु रख क्योंकि ये तेरी वडियाई कर रहे ने so protect all the grunts, right? Have faith in them because they talk about Brahm. Then is Madhav, be sensitive, right?
So basically not being cruel and
don't
hard.
Be cruel. So I remember we were watching a new version of the Mahabharata that came, I think, 10 years ago. I forget if it was on Sony or T Series, I can't remember, but I remember we were watching it. And then I'm sorry, we don't have time to explain the whole story, but there's a point where Draupadi, her own brother-in-laws tried to take her clothes off in the middle of the kingdom, and then she's remembering Krishan, and then Krishan sheds tears from his eyes.
Yeah.
And I remember we were sitting there and somebody said, oh, that just can't be right. A Brahmgyani can never cry. because a Brahmgyani is above this. And then I remember listening to Gyani Sansingh Miskin Ji's katha, and he was saying, he goes, no, that's not particularly true. Because a Brahmgyani is not who, yes, a Brahmgyani is above all this because they're in Brahm. But a true Brahmgyani is one that can feel the pain of the whole world. So he goes, there's a difference between butter and a Brahmgyani. The butter melts when you apply the heat to it. But a Brahmgyani melts when the heat is applied to another.
That's deep.
Right?
Which pyar hai.
Pyar, he can feel the whole world. Right? The Brahmgyani can feel the pain of the whole world. Why else did Guru Nanak Dev Ji go on udasis? Right? He felt the pain. He felt the pain of the whole world. Mardanya, we have to go over there. There's somebody suffering over there. Right? Mardanya, this person is looking for himself. We have to go meet them. Right? Guru
Nanak
Dev Ji
gave the antidote as well. Nanak Dukhya substance or give the Shabbat.
Right.
Which will soothe everything.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji felt the whole pain of the whole world. That's what a true Brahmgyani is, right? Right. So, Mardhav, sensitivity, Shima, right? Forgiveness, right? The Antashkaran, and Bhai Daya Singh Ji goes, the Antashkaran should be pure, and Rajogun, Satogun, and Tamogun, whatever you do it. Keep it pure and beautiful. Don't give pain to others by words, body, or action. This is ahimsa.
Going that Kim was huge. We Bhagat Kabir we can de jahe log te kal hai taha khimate aap. Where there's forgiveness, tusi ta aap hi hai.
Bilkul.
You're there. And what was the last one you said? Don't ahimsa, non-violence.
Yeah, ahimsa, non-violence. Don't give pain to others by words, body, or actions. Right. Sometimes
that's even when. So this is all on the search for Bhakti, Parameshwar, Vaheguru, and with this. With the ahimsa, it's even if someone attacks you, we respond non-violently.
Yes, defensively. I mean, but this is Yoga Shastra, right? Yogis are ahimsa, the ones that follow hardcore Patanjali. And this is the yam. Remember, we were saying it's actually kind of it's an ethical guideline to restrain how you interact, right?
So just with the ahimsa, we. Bhagat Farid, we can say, Jote Maran Mukhya te Maran Kom. Like, if someone hits you, don't hit them back. Apne kar jaiye, pair te na ke chum. That's the level of khima, of pyar in these Bhagats.
And Baba Inderjit Singh used to say, that's the mentality that you should have, that you should be able to do that. But he goes, as a rule, ke khalsa da ki dharam hai? ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧਰਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਵੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਆਵੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਆਵੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦਾ ਧਰਮ that's your duty but you should be you should be nirlep from it, you should be above of it, right? You're doing it because your duty, not because you want to do it. Your core essence should be what Bhagat Farid Ji said, right? And then the ahimsa, and then the I think the last one is brahmacharya. Now brahmacharya is, there's 8 types of calm to be away from. Thinking of, I won't go into details. Basically, thinking of women, listening to women, speaking to them in a very I guess loose moral way, looking at the body of women, right? And it goes for women as well, right? Same thing towards men. Speaking in secrets, making the effort to obtain sexual desire, touching, then actually, mating, this and that. These are like these are the different types of sexual desires. The brahmacharya, there's 8 types. You can read about it. And then he says the illness from birth, the illnesses of old age, to keep thinking of these, keep patience from your mind and body, right?
So don't what's be afraid of this. Illnesses? If you have an illness, not to think about it or to accept it. What?
Both. Don't think about it. Accept it, because any pain that you get, essentially your bad karma is being spent out, right? So according to yoga, according to Vedanta, even according to Gurmat, it's the same thing. They said don't accept the will of Akal Purukh, because be happy with the pain that you're getting, because you're I mean, sometimes it's going to be too much to bear, but your bad karma is being expended,
So accept all these things that happen, your body getting weaker, beauty
Yeah,
fading, naina jo hote hain, your eye, the power in your eyes going, you're becoming deaf, all these things.
exactly. And then don't be afraid of these pains because it's part of your destiny. So this is the first Anga of Yoga, and I gave so traditionally I know a lot of people have been studying yoga, and this is what I found. In traditional yam, it's described as very similar stuff. Ahimsa is there, satya to speak truthfulness, asteya don't steal, right, and don't not taking what is freely given, including others' time for energy isn't freely given. That is brahmacharya again, right? Abstinence, and apargraha, non-possessiveness, non-greed, and letting go of unnecessary attachments. Bhai Daya Singh Ji actually goes even to more details, right? As we just spoke about. The second ang of yoga is name.
So all
Now,
that
the
was the first ang, which was jam, like
first ang,
restraint. Your
yeah,
your moral
yam,
code, all that's part of your moral code. ठीक है.
exactly. The second one is name. These
Like
are personal
nitna, huh?
disciplines. Exactly. While yums face outward, name looks more inward. They're internal practices and self disciplines that build character and clean the inner mirror. And this is Gyaniji's definition that he spoke about. It also has 15 types, and again, traditionally it's a little different, but Bhai Daya Singh Ji goes into detail. He says, bathe on the right time with water, bathe during Amrit Vela, take a bath at Amrit Vela. Um, do the Jog Sadhana to make your body pure, make the Antashkaran pure. How? This is called the Pav Shuddh. Kritu, do the puja of the Prabhu before doing the yog. Sat, always speak the truth because your mind won't get dirty if you speak the truth. Think of the truth. Jap, chant Om, eat food as per the hunger of your stomach. Don't overeat because overeating makes you impure. Now, this is where all the stuff that the yoga talks about, right? Don't do this, don't do that, kind of comes in.
So basically,
This is
their red, or our red.
exact name, right? Yeah. So they say this is the home, like the home you put in the Havan Samagri, right? They say this is the home, right? Tarpan, drink the water of the Ganga. This is now Patanjali, right? Tap, stop and control the Indriyas by doing tapasya. Dan, give wisdom to the Mamukshu, right?
Not
Dan means
just
giving donations. Yeah.
spiritual wisdom.
Tatikya, tolerate love and hate, right? Vart,
Does that also mean test? Or was that just me? The diksha. Did I hear?
Tatiksha means to be like above, to see hot and cold is the same, pain and loss. Pain and pleasure is the same, loss and profit is. That's what Tatiksha means.
Just that balance.
Yeah. And then Vart is another
Like
form.
that Shabad Jo Nar Dukh Mein Dukh Nahi Mane Guru Tegh Bahadur.
Exactly.
Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji lived this.
Yeah. Sukh sane aur jay. Sukh sane aur pehne jaake kanchan mati mane. See, gold and dirt is the same, right? So then Vart in Yoga Shastra is known to purify you. So when you, and I know nowadays we talk about intermittent fasting. So that's where, Patanjali talks about keeping fasts on certain days. Like, it helps you clear your system. It purifies everything, right? Eat food when the sun is in the right side. So according to Patanjali, eating food when the sun is down is a bad thing.
So the yogis would never do this.
They only eat when the sun came up. Yeah. Upavas, don't eat too much, right? Straining again. And then Niragagni, don't heat with fire.
How do they cook the food?
I don't know. I guess they eat raw foods. Yeah. So Istri Varjan, right? Don't indulge with women. And now remember, a lot of yogis, they go celibate, right? They don't get married.
So that other word, so it's Istri Virgin. Is that where the origin of the word virgin comes?
No, very funny.
No, that's a serious question.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah. Because obviously the words have an origin, and this is Sanskrit, yes or no?
I'm not an etymology expert, but I don't know. If somebody knows that, please comment and tell us below.
Yeah, it is पता लग गया सन.
Virgin means to like varjana, like दूर रहना होता हो,
हाँ
or
ठीक, yeah,
be away from it.
abstinence वही गल बनती है ना.
Is that the same thing? Okay. I don't know. If somebody knows more on this etymology, please comment below. So don't indulge with women. Madak virgin, don't consume intoxicants, cannabis, alcohol, that stuff. So, which is funny because a lot of yogis do drink alcohol to do samadhi. So it's interesting that Patanjali talks about this.
And all the ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ शिव जी ਦੇ ਭਗਤ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਛਕਦੇ ਆ.
Sharab pinte ne, yeah.
And
Or and
ਉਹ ਛਕ ਕੇ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ just
bhakti, yeah, they do bhakti to focus the mind. And they do pang as well. They do marijuana, cannabis. Right.
Here it says to avoid all these things like cannabis, drugs, anything else.
Remember, they're also ahimsa param dharma, right? They believe in ahimsa. They don't believe in violence, right? So I mean, tade kanda na Shivji sada Nyang Singh Sika. Anyways, so traditionally, what you would find if you were to find name, it's very similar. So Soch means cleanliness, purity, right? Santosh, contentment, tapasya, right? Disciplined, heat, or austerity. Swadhyay, self-study and reading spiritual philosophical texts. Ishwar, paridhana, right? Surrender to a higher reality, right? So then the third ang of yoga is asana, physical postures. Now, in modern times, yoga has become, almost entirely synonymous with asana, but traditionally, physical postures are just one limb of yoga. The ultimate goal of asana is to develop a steady, comfortable, and healthy physical body so that you can sit comfortably in meditation for long stretches without the distraction of physical pain or restlessness. Now,
Asan's just position.
Yeah, position. You know how you do the dog asana, right? And
they say like
cat.
Nivli Karam Asan Chorasi, that there's 84 of these.
Yes. So there's 8.4 millions of species and their way of sittings.
Acha, theek hai.
84 lakh June.
Hanji, yeah.
So 84 lakh June, right? There's 8.4 millions of species and they have ways of sitting. That is how many asanas there are.
Theek hai.
So out of that, 84 are considered like the main asanas.
Theek hai.
Out of them, out of the 84, 16 are chosen as the better. And then like the Brahmas, Savastasana, Padamasan, Gomukhasan, Hansasan, Vishnu's is Garudasan, Nagasan.
When Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj sat on the Tattita Vidya in Padmasana,
Padmasan.
Yeah.
Padmasan, yeah. So the Vishnu has Garudasan, Nagasan, Kurumasan, Kurum the turtle, right? And Narsinghasan. Huh?
No, I have to Google all these asanas.
Yeah. And then Shivji's Rudras is Veerasan, right? We Veerasan, Jada Sada, Mayurasan, Vajrasan, and Siddhasan. The 13th is the Pagasan of the Shakti. Okay, 13th is then the Paschamatan Asan is Shivji's. Tanuk and Utan are two more. That makes 16. Within the four that are highest, Singhasan, Padmasan, Siddhasan, and Padrasan, the Siddhasan and the Padmasan are considered the supreme.
So the Padmasan is like a lotus chomkri,
Exactly. And even then,
Hanji.
the Siddhasan is considered the highest. I remember when Gyani Ji, he sits in Siddhasan when Jesus Katha.
How does Siddhasan look?
It's basically both of your heels are aligned and pushed into your like pelvic region when you're sitting down. Yeah. One is above the other. It's very difficult to sit in.
I can't even do chokri.
There you go. Now I don't know which number we're on, but I think we're on number 4. The fourth. Are we?
Hang on, we did name.
Yam, name, asan, pranayam. 4th.
Okay, so the first one was what? Name.
Name.
Yeah.
No, first one was yam.
Yam, name, and asan.
Asan, and now pranayam. Pranayam is breath control. Pran is the life force energy, and yam means extension or control.
Hanji.
Honestly, it seems to be it's just talking about oxygen, and that oxygens have like the life force in it. I could be wrong. Then by practicing specific breathing techniques, you learn to regulate your breath, which directly influences your nervous system. It calms your racing mind and moves energy freely throughout the body. This is the definition of pranayam.
And is
And
this
then
where
there's
like Sasgras comes in?
yes, yes, it does. It's a deep breathing, right? This is where that comes from. Yeah. There's three types: Uttam, Madhyam, and Kanishth. Right now, I don't want to go into the because these are actually three very big topics themselves. Like the Kanishth is like where you're kind of in the beginning, you can feel the hotness, you can feel the pain, and then in the Madhyam portion, the prans go into deeper into your nadia, like Sushama, Ingala, Ida, Pingala, Sushama. The prans begin to go in there, and then your body begins to tremble. And then Uttam is where basically you're going into you're being awakened, right?
And that's what you see when people do yoga. First they do the breath of fire, and then they do
Exactly.
and then the final stages are it doesn't look like they're breathing. They're just flowing, kind of.
Meditating. Anulom. Uttam is where the levitation begins because you lose. So by the time you reach the Uttam stage, your attachment to the body begins to separate. And so what Gyaniji says is that not only does your moh to your body get destroyed, but your moh to the earth is also destroyed. And this is the reason why you begin to levitate.
Whoa.
Because gravity doesn't affect you anymore because there's no pull towards the earth. Interesting, eh? So one of the most major things of pranayama is what we call everybody knows is anulom vilom, right? Where you take in the breath through the left nostril, the Chandra nostril. You breathe in. That's called Purak. Exactly. Purak, and then you're holding it for some time inside. It's called the Kumbhak, right? You hold it as long as you can, and then you release it from the right nostril, which is the Surya nostril called the Rechak. So there's Purak, Kumbhak, Rechak, right? And when you're doing this, you say Oankar or Om 12 times while breathing in. So you're thinking Om, and then Oankar, you're holding it 16 times. And say Oankar 16 times when Rechak, breathing it out. Okay? Breathing out the Surya in right nostril. This is the Kanishta Pranayam, twice as much as Madhyam, and Uttam is 3 times as much.
And this type of breathing is mentioned in Guru Granth Sahib Maharaj, no?
Yes,
Yeah,
Pura Karecha Kumbhak, right? And Bhai Daya Singh Ji, when he talks in the Gurmat, he's going to talk about what the Gurmat version of that is basically listening to the Guru's word, internalizing the Guru's word, and then speaking the Guru's word through your actions. That's the pranayam of the Gurmat. Right?
Sick.
So the next ang, I've lost count.
That was 4 was prana, and then 5th.
Then we're at the 5th then. Okay,
what?
thank you. 5th is pratahara.
Pratyahara.
Right? Withdrawal of the senses. This marks the bridge between the external and internal aspects of yoga. Pratyahara is the intentional turning inward of the mind instead of constantly reacting to external sights, sounds, and stimulations, or you consciously draw from your awareness. You draw your awareness away from the sensory world to look inside.
But is this is more mental than physical, no?
This is mental.
The mind.
It's purely mental. Okay? When any thoughts arise, you stop it right away.
How?
You have to get good at this.
How do you do that?
Just stop it.
How do you stop a thought?
Divert your attention. It's like saying, how do you stop your mind? How do you stop your indriyas? Just stop them.
No, but the people here who are listening like me that never stopped them, they just go with the flow. You just get like if you have a thought coming, how do you stop it? Like
Only Gyaniji can explain that to you. Then I don't know.
TK, no fair play.
I wouldn't be able to explain that. I mean, by the asking, he's going to talk further on what to do, right? It comes up somewhere there as well. So now we talked about 5 angs. Now these were the external. Now the next 3 are basically internal. They're entirely internal, right? This is where the meditation deepens, right? So we have dharana, concentration. Dharana is the practice of single-minded focus. because the mind naturally wants to wander. You tether it to a single point of focus. I guess this is the answer to your question. You choose a, what you call it, you choose a bindu, pratibimbu, like a point of focus, and you focus on it.
ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੀ ਉਸਤਤ ਕਰੋ ਸੰਤਮੀਤ
Right.
ਸਾਵਧਾਨ ਇਕਾਗਰ ਚੀਤ ਲਈ
Yeah.
focus one thing like single like hardcore.
So they're saying you can focus on your breath, just focus on your breath, and this is how to control your mind. And this is how to control the indriyas. But when you were asking before, I guess Bhai Daya Singh Ji heard us and he answered it right away.
ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
Right? You focus on breath or a mantra, right? And or a candle flame or a specific visualization, right? In Suraj Prakash Granth, many times Guru Sahib said, focus on my feet. Right? When Guru Gobind Singh Ji gave the Gyan to Mata Jito Ji,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Mata Jito Ji left first, right? Hold on, let me think about this now. So the mother of Sahibzada Ajit Singh Ji was Mata Sundari Ji, and she remained with Guru Sahib. Mata Jito Ji went first, yes.
and then baad ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਤਾ ਤੁਜੀ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਤੀਜੀ
So Mata Jito Ji left her body first. Mata Jito Ji wanted Brahm Gyan, and then Guru Gobind Singh Ji, like, he gave her he helped her become Bideh Mukt. She was already Mukt, but there's a form of Bideh Mukti where you became Trikal Darshi, where you're, that's forward. That we won't get into that right now. There's 7 Pumakas of Gyan.
like Maharaj told her focus on my charan. In the same way,
Focus on my charan.
when Maharaj sent Baba Uday Singh to fight in Shai Tibbi, he said, think of me when you fight.
Exactly.
And फिर महाराज बानी दे चुई दसते कई बारी मेरा ही ध्यान तो रोने से बासर पूड़ के और के नाम ना लीजिए. Like think
Right.
of me, don't think of anyone else.
Exactly. So yeah.
That's the thing. That's a cheat code as well. Maharaj is that inna pyar hai. Think of me, I got you. They're not let us fall in it. If they tell us something and we listen, then we can't fall.
Yeah. So where are we here?
So that was
Tarna. Yes.
And some people
so, yeah.
sometimes ask, and this is where the Rara Sahib the Tarna Kirtan, is this that same aim?
No, I think that's a Sangeeta.
Okay, ठीक है.
That's a
Something totally
Sangeeta
different.
term.
ठीक है.
Like, Tarna the Kirtan, Jotiyan the Kirtan.
हाँ जी.
Right, and then there's, then you have Kawwal, then you have, Trupad. I think these are types of music.
ठीक.
Tarna, basically the type where Marashis used to do when they used to travel. I think that's the type of singing they did with Tarna.
ठीक साथ.
Right. This is different. This is concentration.
This is focus, concentration.
Yeah.
Very good.
And mantra, candle flame, and specific visualization. When the mind drifts, you gently but firmly bring it back. You can also focus on Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the 5 primal elements.
And then
This
like
is
in
Patanjali.
Sikhi, we've been given all these like Jyotya, the Shastra Rakke, and the Shabad, and the Mantar, everything we have.
Exactly. Right. Now, again, this is basically Patanjali, right, talking. So they're talking about Dhyan Tarna. So the next one is Dhyan, meditation. While Tarna is the effort to concentrate, Dhyan is the state where that concentration becomes an uninterrupted flow. They call it like tel dhara. You know how when like oil is pouring and it looks like it's still?
Yeah. There's that flow state, and then
Yeah. The flow looks like it's not even flowing. It's just there, right? That's what you call it the tel dhara. The dhyan should be that uninterrupted,
wow,
right?
that's beautiful.
The distinction is subtle but profound. In Tarna, you are constantly pulling a distracted mind back. In Dhyan, the mind stops wandering entirely and you enter a continuous, effortless stream of awareness. So keep your focus in the one, right? And then we have Samadhi, which is the 8th thang. Samadhi is the absorption and the mukti, the liberation, the ultimate culmination of the path. In Samadhi, the illusion of separation dissolves. The mediator, the act of mediation, and the object of mediation merge into one. Remember, Tyata Tyan Te, Gyata Gyan Ge, right? Pramata Praman Parme. They all become one in Samadhi. Samdhi. Dhi means buddhi. Sam means together. So when the buddhi becomes one. It's called Samadhi.
Like
Right?
sage Smadagad, which ek man hoy guru jap japande in sage and smad, everything comes one. The jara japta the japan guru jap japande, the japping and the jap all become one.
And the Guru all become one. Yeah, all three become one.
That's mad.
Right? It is a profound state of spiritual absorption, bliss, and pure consciousness when you experience the true self, when you see the Atma. Right? And there's two types we've discussed in previous, the Savikalp and the Nirvikalp Samadhi. Right? Savikalp is where the Triputi still exists, and the Nirvikalp is where the Triputi finishes and you're one.
Yeah.
Right? So these are the 8 angs of yoga. Now, Bhai Daya Singh Ji goes on. He goes, ear, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose. These are the Gyan Indriyas, so a few more definitions. Speech, hands, feet, anus, and urethra. These are the Karam Indriyas. Sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell are within the Gyan Indriyas. Speech, holding, walking, joy, eliminating waste. These are within the Karam Indriyas, right? And then you have the Antashkaran, which is the Man, Buddhi, Chit, and Hankar. We've explained this in the previous. This is the Antashkaran. The Sankalp, effort, is what the Man does. Nischay, judgment, is what the Buddhi does. Anusandhan, thinking and remembering, is what the Chit does. And Garav, ego possession, is what the Hankar does. These are the Vishas of the Antashkaran. This is what basically their
Jobs.
Their subject. Yeah, their jobs. And then each visha, remember there's tyata tyante. So we're talking about, we have the indri, we have the actual act of, like, seeing the visha, and then you have the object. Now, there's a power behind each. Now, each indriya has a power, right? This is where the concept of devtas come in Vedanta and Patanjali. They're basically just powers, right? And they've given them a name. There's devtas to all these. So disha, there's a Dijpal devta, right? Ear. Pavan is the skin. Surya is the eyes. Varun is the tongue, water devta, right? Tarti is the nose. These are the Gyanindri devtas. Agni, Indra, Upindar. Upandar is also Vishnu, actually. Prajapati, also known as Brahma. And Yamraj, Dharmaraj. These are the devtas of the Karmindriyas. The devta of the Man is Chandar. The devta of the Buddhi is Brahma. The devta of the Chit is Vasudev. And the devta of Ahankar is Rudra. That's the power.
Makes sense, that destructive energy.
Exactly. These are the devtas of the Andashkaran. Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan, Byan, Nag, Kuram, Krikal, Devdat, and Tananjay. These are the 10 different type of Pranas. There's actually 5, but there's 5 others, right? I think Bhai Daya Singh Ji will explain the Puranas, or I think we have discussed them, but they come up later on. Now, by the Kiryan, this is important because this passage is what the next Gyaniji took a long time to explain everything, and this is what basically it's going to take the rest of our rest of our podcast today. Yeah, by the Kirya, the Puranas are Shamashti, aggregate, together. Now this. We're going to explain all this. I'm just going to read out what Bhai Daya Singh Ji wrote first. On this, and Gyaniji goes, Kriya represents action or dynamic movement, and Pran is the vital force energy, which we discuss. While one's physical body might feel separate from another's, our life force energy, Pran, is not actually partitioned. It's the same. The breath of life animating all living beings is unbroken, interconnected cosmic web. On the level of energy and action, Kriya, everything is part of the samashti, the aggregate, the whole, the total collective pool of cosmic energy. Now, the 3 bodies are Karan, Suksham, and Sthul of the Jeev, right? These are the Vyashti, the individual. Vyashti and Samashti. Samashti, the aggregate, the together. Vyashti, the individual. Now, there's a reason why Bhai Daya Singh Ji is explaining all this. The Samashti body of the Ishwar is Virat, Sutar, and Abhyakrit. The Vyashti Jeev's Abhimanis are Vishav in Jagrat Avastha, Tejas in Swapan, and Pragya in Sukopat. The 3 Abhimanis of Ishwar in the same sense are Ishwar, Hirangarbh, and Vaishnavar. Now,
can you explain that again to, like, if you're talking to a child?
we are going to go through this in detail
Okay,
now.
ठीक
So basically, this passage is a synthesis of the Advaita Vedanta and yoga, the yoga Suksham anatomy. Okay, don't worry, it gets easier. Don't worry. This is the reason why I took 2 days. So like, I took a good, I don't know, 40 hours to do this because I wanted to make sure the person who reads this understand this. Okay. Now it maps out the relationship between the individual Jeev and the divine Ishwar. Okay. The most important thing to grasp is the underlying framework. The Vyashti means micro, individual. Shamashti means the macro, the cosmic aggregate, the
So
whole universe,
Vashti is the
everything.
individual and Shamashti is the collective level,
The whole, yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
existence, basically.
According to Vedanta, micro and macro are fundamentally identical. The Jeev is the same as the Ishwar. Like a drop of water, Vyashti, ocean, Shamashti.
Like one tree, Vashti,
Yeah.
and
Forest.
Samashti is the whole jungle forest.
Yeah. So this is actually the Gyan that gives you Brahm Gyan according to Vedanta, is when you understand and internalize and think about this. Whoa, we're all one. Then the Parda of Maya breaks and Brahm Gyan comes roaring out. The Atma comes roaring out like a lion out of a cage. Right? This is what Vedantis say. So the Byashti and Samashti are both. This is Bhai Daya Singh Ji talking now. The Byashti and Samashti are both illusions within the Brahm. Just as a snake is mistakenly seen in the rope, just as silver is mistakenly seen in the seashell on a moonlight day. Seashells look like silver. That is how the Jeev and Ishwar are in the Brahm Atma. This illusion is caused by Agyan. There is only one Adhishtan Atma. Adhishtan means, oh shoot, I didn't define it here. The Adhishtan means like the background. Adhyast means something living in something. So we're in space. Space is the Adhishtan, and me living in the space is Adhyast in the Akash. Get it?
Say
No?
again, like
Okay. Adhishtan is like the solvent, right? It's like the thing carrying everything, right? And if something is adhyast into something, it means it's living in something. Like the salt is adhyast inside the water. Make sense?
It's that which is the underlying reality.
Yeah. So the Brahmatma is the Adhishtan, and we are adhyast into the Brahmatma. These words are very important to know because then you'll understand like other kathas like Pavdu Katha, or when anything in Sanskrit comes out, or when these concepts in Gurbani come, you will understand them, right? And then like same thing, so the snake, remember the illusion of the snake and the rope. The snake is adhyast into the Adhishtan rope, right? Until you don't know it's a rope, you will be in pain thinking it's a snake instead, right? But when the light turns on, where does the snake go?
It doesn't go anywhere because it's not there.
It disappeared, yeah.
You
So
realize
now-
it never existed and it was a rasa.
Okay, now Gyaniji goes into. I'm just seeing how far.
So with that snake thing, it's like we wear the snake in one way, we think we exist, but when the light comes on, when the Brahmgyan opens, then we realize we don't exist. We're Brahmi ourselves.
That's right. Okay, so now this is going to be all Gyaniji's explanations. So we pretty much we would have been done right now if I didn't do all these. So, but this is very important because this is where you need to understand anything. Now, 3 layers of the individual. Okay, this is the Vyashti now. The individual has 3 bodies: Karan, Suksham, Asthul. These are the Vyashti individual. Every human being exists simultaneously across 3 distinct vehicles or bodies, sharirs. These constitute your individual Vyashti experience. Asthul is the physical body, the dense flesh, bone, and body made with food, annamekosh, and matter, right? It interacts with the physical body, right? The suksham. Now, this is where the subtle, it's called the subtle or the astral body. Okay. The energetic and mental body, it houses your mind, intellect, ego, five senses, and the pranas. So the pranamay kosh, manamay kosh, and the vijnanamay kosh.
So the whole
Okay.
basic inner system.
Yeah. That's called the suksham shrir.
Suksham, theek hai.
Okay. So that's the suksham shrir. And then the third one is called the karan de, the karan shrir, right? The causal body.
These are
This is
our
this.
actions.
No, this is the Anandamay Ghosh. This is the Agyan.
Mm.
This is the Buddhi Chetana, the thing, this is the glass that's reflecting the light, that making us think we're individuals. This is the reason why we exist as an individual, right? This is seed body. It is a
This is where
storehouse.
the ignorance is honed. The hankar.
Yes. Not only the ignorance, your deep-seated impressions, your tendencies, your sanskars, your nature, your personality, your buddhi,
That is
your
your Karan
past.
Sarir.
Yes, your past karma. Because remember, the man the man is new in every birth. You don't have the same man.
Mm.
The man, so whatever action you do influences the man, influences the buddhi, and then the buddhi becomes this personality, right? You know, कई लोग की बड़े चिड़चिड़े होते हैं, they're always very, you know, fussy and like, you know, grumpy. And some people are just happy-go-lucky, right? This is where it's coming from. It goes from
From the
birth to birth to
Karans.
birth. Karan Sharir, right?
So I've got a question here. Personality, is that based on Pishle Janavande Karma and your Karan Sarir, your impressions, ignorance?
100%.
Or is it to do with your upbringing and how the world has treated you?
Oh, well, yes, that will affect the Karan Sharir.
Hanji.
And then it will change. Well, think about it, right? When you were a kid, you probably thought Barney the Purple Dinosaur was pretty cool, right? Or I don't know. And,
Yeah, but I get you. Some kids do, yeah.
right. I don't know. We thought He-Man and the Thundercats were pretty cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Now when we look at it, we're like, wow, those pretty cheap graphics. I mean, I still love watching it
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Like when you're a
Right?
kid, you think Police Academy is the funniest movie ever. You watch
Oh
it now,
man,
and you think,
my
what?
kids are watching Please God, right?
And then they look at you, you watch this and thought it's funny.
No, but they think it's funny. We watch Twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny
Yeah.
DeVito. They're like, Dad, can we watch all the movies you guys watched in the 90s? I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
that is sweet. That is, I still got to do that education.
Oh yes, man. Yeah, you know, Twins, Terminator, Total Recall, right?
And then
We're
I've
doing.
taken them through Rambo. I've got to take them through the Rockies now.
Oh, I haven't done Rambo yet. We got to do Rambo and Rockies. Anyways, yes. So the man is influenced by your upbringing, which internalizes your personality,
Wow,
right?
that's mad.
And that goes all the way to your Karan Dehi, right? And your past karma is also housed in there. It's basically the seed. All the stuff, all the seeds that you implant go right into the Karan Dehi.
And that's your sabah. And that's sabah.
It's your sabah. It is your sabah. That's exactly where your sabah comes from, right? It is a root of why you reincarnate into a physical, subtle body.
Wow. And that
Into a
even,
physical.
as a side quest, that links to the placement of planets and everything.
Yes, everything is connected, right? So now these were the three bodies of the individual Vyashti. Okay, again, a sthul, physical body, suksham sharir, right, the energetic and mental body, and the karan sharir, the anandamay kosh, where your past karma, your buddhi, your personality exist, right? Now the three cosmic bodies of the divine, the Ishwar, the Shamashti. What are they? The Shamashti body of the Ishwar are Virat, Sutaratma, and Abhyakrit. Right? Just as you have three individual bodies, the Ishwar, the cosmic creator, divine intelligence, possesses three corresponding macrocosmic Samashti bodies. And this we're a part of this now. Okay? Abhyakrit, the cosmic equivalent to the causal body. It is the unmanifested state of the universe where all creation exists in seed form before time and space begin. Another way to think about it is all of your deep state states aggregated, added together, the sum of. It's hard to understand here, but I'll go. The Sutaratma, that's also known as the Hiranyagarbha. This is the cosmic equivalent to the Suksham Sharir, right? It is the cosmic mind, the golden thread that links all minds and subtle energies across the universe together. This is where Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva become three individuals. At the Abhyakrit level, it's everything's together.
But unborn.
Unborn. Well, within Maya. Within Maya, okay? So now we're talking Abhyakrit is the Ishwar. And then at the Suksham level, the Sutaratma, the Hiranyagarbha, this is where they become Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, right? If you want to look at it, it links all minds, Suksham energies across the universe together. So if you take everybody's mind, your mind, my mind, it's the forest of all the minds. Okay? Now, Virat is the cosmic equivalent of the physical body. This is the entire manifest physical universe. Every galaxy, planet, star, and physical form visible to this is whatever we see. This is the physical body of the Ishwar. This is what we call the Virat. Now, when they say in Mahabharata that Krishna showed Arjun his Virat Roop, he basically showed him the galaxies. He saw everything. He saw the living, the dead. He saw all the minds. He saw the Virat Roop of Ishwar. And when you read Adhyatam Prakash, it talks about see all the plants as the hairs on the body of Virat Ishwar. See all the mountains as its head. See the sky as a head. See the patal as his feet. Right, and all the wind blowing is the breath of the Virat Swarup, right, and all the minds together, all the minds of the Sutaratma. So it's the aggregate. This is Ishwar. What you're looking at, I mean, Gurbani says that, right? Jodi says so Brahm Swarup, right? Whatever you're looking at is a Swarup of Akal Purkh. This is how that Swarup of Akal Purkh that you're looking at is called the Virat Roop of Ishwar, right? So now we have the individuals. So again, the three forms of the bodies of the Ishwar: Abhyakrit, Sutaratma, and Virat. Now, the individual has three states of awareness, what we call the Abhimanis, right? The Abhimani is the experiencer. And I think a question like that came up in one of the comments as well. But it was worded to a point where we didn't understand how to answer it. But hopefully this will help. The Abhimani is the one that is the experiencer, the one that feels the experience, or the identity we assume when we are localized in a specific state of consciousness. Now, how? As an individual Jeev, you shift through three distinct identities daily. When you're awake, the Jagrat Avastha, you are the Vishav Abhimani. When you're awake, your consciousness is focused through your physical body.
Watching.
Exactly. So your Sthul Sharir, this is looking at, this is what I'm looking at. I'm in track. I'm talking to you. I'm looking at the mic. All right. I'm reading. This is the me that is called the Vishav Abhimani, right? You identify as a physical being experiencing a physical word. Now, in the dream state, the Swapan Vastha, that is called the Tejas Abhimani. When you dream, your physical body is asleep, but you are highly active in your Suksham Sharir, right? Your mind fabricates an entire world out of light and thoughts, and your identity here is the dreamer, the Tejas. Now, Genji also mentions the Jeev also changes positions when going through these three states. The Vishavamani lives in the eyes. I mean, we talked about that, right? When you're looking at somebody, you're talking in the eyes.
So you look at the eyes, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where you are, right? You say, look at me. I'm here. Talking to me, right? In the Swapan Avastha, the Jeev moves into a nadi inside your neck called a Hita nadi. And then in the deep sleep, the Shushupti, the dreamless sleep, right, is your Jeev moves into the Hirda.
And that's the unconsciousness, right?
Yeah. Pragya, that's called the Pragya Abhimani. The Pragya Mani, pardon me?
The deep sleep version.
The deep sleep. So the Pragyabhamani is very interesting because the Pragyabhamani actually is Brahm. Because the mind is separated at that point. There's no mind at that time. It's just this. It's just the Atma, but you can't see the Atma because there's a film of Karam around it, right? Because remember the Karan Sarir with all the Karam, with all the personalities, it's covering it, the Anandamay Kosh. But because it's the closest to the Atma, it feels the Anand, and that's why it's called the Anandamay Kosh. We don't really know what to call it because it is essentially it's Maya. Maya is nameless, is anarvachani. So all we can call it is the Karan Dehi. It's the reason why we're here, right? So the pragya and scope, the shushupti, the deep dreamless sleep. In deep sleep, both physical and dream worlds vanish. You rest entirely in your Karan Sharir, the causal body. There's no thoughts, just peace and a blanket of ignorance, agyan. The entity experiencing through blissful, thoughtless state is pragya. Now, these were the abhimanis of the individual, right? The vyashti. Vishav abhimani, Tejas abhimani, and Pragya abhimani. Okay. Now, the Ishwar also has three. Because remember, Ishwar is just the aggregate of everything, right? It's just us added up together, sum of the entire cosmic, individuals. The three abhimanis of Ishwar are Ishwar, Hirangarbh, and Vaishnavar. So just as you identify in waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, the Supreme Conscious identifies with three macrocosmic states. The first is Vaishnavar, the cosmic consciousness identifying with the total waking physical universe, the Virat. It is a divine awareness animating all physical matter. It's what gives life to everything. It's the water flowing. It's the fire burning. It's you, me talking. It's all electricity is all one. It's electricity is even included in this. The Vaishnavar form of Ishwar is what illuminates everything and what gives it life. The particles moving, the atoms, the electrons circling, the protons, right? This is the Vaishnavar, Ishwar. Okay. The second one is Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic consciousness identifying with the total dreaming, subtle, the Suksham universe. It is a source of all cosmic intelligence, knowledge, and energy. This is Hiranyagarbha. And then Ishwar is the cosmic consciousness. Remember, we were talking about this is where everything becomes one. You can call it Mahavishnu if you want to. Even Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are one in this stage. Like it's Ishwar, Mahavishnu. Right? Ishwar, the cosmic consciousness, identifying the total deep sleep, calls the state. It is an unmanifested Lord holding all potential creation in perfect equilibrium before it springs into being. These were the definitions that Gyaniji gave.
So even the Ishwar and the Jeev have similar three-pronged structures, huh?
They are similar.
The
Ishwar is just the aggregate. It's the one that knows itself. There's no agyan there. Right? The individual has the layer of agyan, the ignorance, right? And then according to Patanjali, there's a few other words that Bhai Daya Singh Ji talks about, and he explains them because he's going to explain that more. Pralay, we talk about, total annihilation. When the five primal elements, the Panchakrit, the mixing of the elements of, remember they all, the Panchikrit, right? The five elements, what is it? Akash, Pavan, Agni, Pani, and Tarti. They all mix and create combinations with each other, right? And 5 times 4 is 20, plus the 5 pure, 25, so it's called the Panchikrit, right? The mixing of the elements to create the combination elements immerse into the Apanchikrit. Apanchikrit means where, so it says immerses into the Abhyakrit. Remember, one of the forms of Ishwar. The solid elements immerse into Paramatma, and day and night no longer exist. This is called pralay, right? Ran din pralay, when nothing exists. When the suksham elements, the powers of the elements, such sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, immerse into the Paramatma, that is called the prakrit pralay. When the Gyan of Brahm, Sat, Chit, Anand immerses, the knowledge of Sat, Chit, Anand becomes indifferent. The knowledge of the rope and the seashell destroys the snake and the silver. When the Gyan of duality immerses, that is called Gyan Pralay. The Satguru gives that wisdom. That's where everything, and then this is the state where Baba Buddhaji is saying, I don't think I need to take a bath anymore because he doesn't see the universe, right? This is where Baba Mohanji is doing tapasya and he's walking right into the river and the Sikhs are, getting him to bring him back because nothing exists. Tirupati is finished in that state. That's called the Gyan Pralay.
The illusion of separation is gone. That's
Yeah.
like Brahm Gyanta at its highest.
Yeah. So Utpatti is when the primal elements in the pure form, the apanchikrit, mix to form the panchikrit. This is where creation begins. What's the first thing that happens when creation begins is the 5 core senses are created: sound, sound, smell, touch, etc. Right? They are created from Paramatma. This is Utpatti. This is form. This is from the Adipurk. Right? This is from the primal thing. Now, Sathiti, the stable universe is formed. This is how long Brahma lives. Now it's talking about how long the universe lives. This is interesting. The Avantar Sthiti is when Brahma's day is there. Brahma's day is 4.32 billion years. What that means is, so when you have Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar, Kalyug, when they do one round, it's 4.3 million years. 1,000 of those is what we call like a kalap, which is one day of Brahma. That's 4.32 billion years. And then his night is also 4.32 billion years. This is called the Avantar Pralay, when nothing happens. So this Brahma still exists, but is asleep for as long as he was awake. So the Srishti lives for 4.32 billion years, and then it's annihilated for 4.32 billion years, and then it comes up again. Keeps doing that, right? That's called the Kalap. When Brahma's age, 315 trillion years finishes, everything finishes. This is Pralay Gyan, when there's no creation, sustenance, or destruction. Only Brahm is there, nothing else. There's only Mukti there. It is Advat. Even the Maya goes to sleep into the Brahm. Gyan can only be achieved by Vidya. Till the Brahm Gyan is not there, that is the constant Avidya. Sanchit, Prarabdha, and Kiryaman, till these karmas exist, there is no Gyan. Past, future, and present, they are bondages in the Gyan. The 3 guns of Maya, Satogun, Tamagun, Rajogun. The Jeev is kept away from Gyan till then. Sato, Rajo, and Tamo only exist till there is no Gyan. Okay? Till the guns are not stilled, one sees themselves as different from the Brahm. So you have to rise above Rajo, Tamo, Sato. When he or she sees himself as Ishwar with Maya, he becomes omnipotent. The universe is bound to be destroyed one day. Only the formless one is indestructible. This is where Bhai Daya Singh Ji's chapter ends, and Kavi Santokh Singh Ji says, till we don't understand the cream from the Sadguru, we will be impure. The body, Indriyas, mind, and the pranas are the anatam. This anatam that you think is you are an agyan. This is all agyan. The Nirankar is the Brahm Atma, who is the witness to all. See that as your real form. Everything else is anatam. Always think in your mind that you are the Brahm. You don't see this though.
Which is not the true self.
That is, yeah, exactly. Your real form will never be destroyed. You forget yourself, and so you don't see your real self. And this is where the chapter ends. This is how yoga was taught. Now, again, the Jagyasu doesn't criticize different ideologies. That's one thing I learned from Gyaniji, which was I was ignorant towards this before, because I was always going, oh, but nahi theek kyunki ya gurmat nahi hegi, right? And Gyaniji just kind of just said that, he goes, well, gurmat hai ki fir tu das. I'm like, sorry, I don't know. He goes, well, if you don't know, then why you kind of just saying that this is not right? And we've developed that habit. We've developed nahi theek, tikka lana nahi theek, aarti eda karni nahi theek, right? You're not looking at the intent behind it, right? Like I said, did the aarti at Jagannath Puri stop after Guru Nanak Dev Ji went? It didn't. Did Muslims stop bowing to Makkah? No, they didn't. So then what did Guru Nanak Dev Ji tell them to do? Right? Did he tell them what you're doing is pakhand? He said, yes, what you're doing is pakhand when your mind is not attached to, when your mind is not in Sharda. When you're doing it as a physical, ritual, then it's pakhand, right? When you're doing it, when you're bowing with your mind towards Makkah, right? When you're doing namaz with your mind, when you're doing the arti and the puja of your Isht Dev with your heart, then it's true puja. But if you're just doing it physically, जैसा मिल के आखन पाए बड़ा ना होए काट ना जाए. Right? If everybody keeps saying, "Oh, tu bahut vada, tu bayant hai, tu anup hai," it doesn't affect a Kalpurk, right? Remember, it's the deen. You have to become humble. Man ahi, sab kuch tera, right? Then that's when, and when you do it with the heart, when it's not just saying it with your mouth, right? When you're doing it with your heart, that's when a Kalpurk becomes compassionate with you. The Guru becomes compassionate and gives you the Gyan. So this was a heavy chapter.
To think about with that one.
But this is basically where Bhai Daya Singh Ji comes together and tells you what yoga is. And a lot of people have misconception of what yoga actually is. You think it's just physical, but it's actually mental. More of it, as you see, was all mental.
It's like the physical that people are trapped in, the physical that is able for people to sell and get rich off and all of that. But the physical is just scratching the surface. Below the surface, everything gets a lot deeper.
Yeah, it's a whole mental exercise, as you see.
That the asanas are one thing, to go beyond the asanas, to realize what is me, what is not me, that's different.
Yeah. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on this one. I don't know why. I think I became over paranoid on this because one, I've been noticing the questions that have been coming in. I'm like, oh, I need to make this stuff a little bit more deeper so it's understandable. And yeah, as I spent a lot of time, I was, listening to Gyaniji more thing and listening to other stuff, reading on more about it. I was like, okay, I understand this, but how do I make everybody else understand? I had to put it into words that were, so the chapter just became twice as long in writing, that is. But I think we did fairly well with time today.
And it is like you said in the last week, I think, it's important we all make our own notes on this. It's easy for you to give me your notes,
Yes.
But that's not going to be the understanding. I must write these out myself. Obviously, share with your brothers, sisters, but write it out yourself. Spend that time, spend those hours doing this vichar, and I think that will help each of us.
Yeah. Talk to others about it. Ask questions. Listen to. I mean, you can find the kathas on the internet about this, right? You want to understand yoga. You want to understand Patanjali. You want to understand Vedant. There's other stuff, right? Bhai Gurdas Ji's Vara are there as well. Right? Bhai Gurdas Ji's Vara, I just think they're the apex of all this Gyan, right? Bhai Gurdas Ji gives you the fundamentals, he gives you the tools, and he explains everything out for you to understanding what is it that you're looking for when you read Guru Granth Sahib Ji.
And I do find and feel that people don't go towards Bhai Gurdas Ji and the Vara as much as when I was younger. I'd hear it a lot, or the elders would say. I don't hear it much from many people nowadays.
And what was funny is it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember when we were young, we used to hear a lot more kirtan of Bhai Gurdas Ji's Vara too.
Yeah.
Right? Like Simar Muridan Tadiyan. Sat Satgur Baksada, right? We used to hear that shabad quite a bit. Meri khalam ho jade.
Yeah, go to say kahan dan de.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. I never learned that shabad.
I don't know. Maybe the Ragis back in the day was more knowledgeable. Not to insult the Ragis nowadays, but yeah, that whole trend towards filmy tunes is. I'm coming from a classical. I'm trained in a classical background of Gurmat Sangeet, right? Gurbani Sangeet. So therefore, I always hold that more closer to my heart.
I've saying that, I often hear that ਪਹਿਲਾਂ Bhai Gurdas Ji ਦੇ ਵਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੰਤੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਪੜਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ.
Yeah, Bhai Daya Singh Ji told us that as well. In fact, the funny thing is, I was speaking to his son, Bhai Daya Singh Ji, and Bhai Daya Singh Ji mentioned that Pitaji and his Tayaji, they were actually given Santya of Hanuman Natak before anything else. And they were told to read passages from Hanuman Natak before they did Kirtan because it got their mouths, tongues moving. I don't know. I remember, in grade school before we used to have music class, and you're singing songs with the music teacher and stuff, right? And we used to do this exercise: the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, right? To get your mouth going. And it's interesting that Bhai Daya Singh Ji said that. He said that Pidaji Honi, they used to read Hanuman Natak before doing Kirtan. And on many Maryadas I've heard in Itihas and stuff, that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he actually told the Sikhs to read Hanuman Natak before doing like Path, Akhand Path or something. Or I believe that Maryada was in the Buddha Dal before.
We should go through that one day, man.
Yeah, we should. We should get through Gyani Ji too. So, as I guess in closing and stuff. So, any questions or something I may have missed or something you want to
No, I think
address?
this is quite a heavy one. I think I'll have to listen back just to get some understanding. But I think again, some of this stuff, like people like myself, haven't gone through, so we have to go through this rigorous study, rigorous breaking down, figuring things out, writing things out ourselves to get to a further deeper understanding. But it opens up, like when you break down what yam is and what all these things are, it's like, okay, wow, the depth that often I feel that there's sec out there like myself that feel, yeah, we've got it now, I understand. And then Mara just goes, you don't know nothing, and shows you there's so much more, which is the beauty of it as well. It just keeps you, like, as a student, as a white belt, like we're all white belts right now, just like getting through this and is beautiful. Like, thank you.
We're all
Mara to get
we're all white belts. If now there's, like I said, the yoga is also mentioned in Nanak Prakash Granth, and I believe it is. I'm just kind of going down to it now. It is Purbard 1 point. It's 1.48, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and this is the Purbard is the first half of Nanak Prakash Granth, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells the Raja Shivnab Yog. It's very similar to what we did here, but there in Nanak Prakash Granth, there's a Bhakti Yog also that is mentioned. So I would,
148.
yeah. The only reason why we didn't talk about that today is because we're following the Panchami Ruth Bhai Daya Singh Ji's conversation. But I do encourage everybody to read that if you have time. It's under my gurupurshottam.com under Guru Nanak Dev Ji's history. You can go to Purbard the link is 1.46 to 1.550, and it's 1.48 that has that. It talks about both types of yogs. It talks about the Bhakti Yoga as well.
And also on gurupurshottam.com, there is a link as well if you want to support any of the projects that are going on.
Yes.
There's
If you go to the top, if the gurupurshottam.com, actually, let me just kind of do this so I can do it properly. When you go to gurupurshottam.com, you'll see in the menu above, and there's support the Guru Purushottam project. In order to get this stuff, like we're doing more stuff. Like we're translating the Farid Koti Tika. Gyani Ji is also doing he's rewriting all the tikas again. Like Gyani Harsimran Singh Ji, his son, Gyani Abid Singh Ji, and like Guru Pratap Singh Ji. They're all working on stuff, and we're basically just taking Gyani Ji's kathas and writing the arths of Suraj Prakash, Farid Koti Tika, Bhai Gurdas Ji's Vara, Kabit Swaya. So part of the stuff that I'm, the part of the Guru Purushottam product, I sent to Gyani Ji as well in making these files. So I had a few sajjan who wanted to help out, and they helped me code those files into Excel files so they're ready for translations. And I thank you, those people. So that, it gets expensive, and your support really means a lot. It goes a long way. Believe me, it does.
Now, if there's anyone else that can get involved to contact you directly or email via the website?
Yep, the email is there as well. It's gurupurushottam@gmail.com.
Also, someone in the comments on one of the videos wrote if we could timestamp this stuff so they can go back to it. I tried to learn how to do some timestamping. I don't know what's going on. If there's anyone out
We're
there that can
Mastani Nihang.
timestamp, let us know and teach us, message us, and tell us this is how you do
We're Mastani Nihang who
it.
figured out how to use technology, and now we're here.
Yeah, that's it. But TK,
It's
thank you, Paisab. I'll catch you again in a week or so's time. Give people time to feast on this, to digest it, and then come up with questions and learn
Yes,
more.
sir.
So we go deeper
Yeah.
on this journey that Guru
Yeah,
Sahib
and we have one more chapter on Vedant, and then after that, the Gurmat stuff is going to begin. All these chapters are very fascinating, and I thank you very much for again helping do this. We're like I said, we're nobodies. We're just fireflies trying to show the world that we can light. But essentially, it's all Guru Sahib. It's all Gyani Ji's Gyan and Mahapurushan Gyan. But yeah, thank you very much for your time.
ठीक है, thank you, Paisab. वाहिगुरु जी का
Vaheguru
खालसा,
Ji ka Khalsa,
वाहिगुरु जी की
Vaheguru Ji ki
फतेह।
Fateh.